yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Zone beats, boy.
What's up, team? Here we are, live with Big Boys Boxing once again. As per usual, give me a couple of minutes here. We'll let a few people get in. I'll send out some invites for some panel members, and we'll get shit rolling. Talk about some of the stuff that went down over the weekend. The big fight in particular that's on screen, of course. We've got some controversy to discuss. And the fight itself. Along with some of the undercard. Some of that was pretty damn decent to watch as well. But it's also Adonis Stevenson loses his title as well to Gvozdyk, or however you say his name, in the light heavyweight division. So interesting. So I'll just get these invites sent out. Regulars, I've just sent a link. Oh no, I'm about to. Give me a sec here. Sent the hangout link in the Big Boys Boxing hangout crew group. I'll just drop one in the chat here for everyone else as well. So anybody who wants to join can do so. There you go. And we'll get shit rolling. So, the fight itself, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, was a great fight. Kind of what we expected from Deontay Wilder, looking for the big knockout. This time, not getting it. So it's a broken promise. Really, he makes these, I promise I'm gonna knock Tyson Fury out. Well, he didn't, so careful what you promise for, Deontay Wilder. But you know, the fight itself was good. Tyson Fury, the Mac is back. Nobody can argue the Mac is back. I don't think he's at his best yet, but still gave Deontay Wilder more than he could handle. The first round was pretty cagey. I gave the first round to Tyson Fury, just due to a flurry at the end of it. His jab was okay. Deontay was started landing a few jabs to the body here and there. Definitely unable to land that big right hand though. The second round I gave to Wilder. It was close. It was very close. And I figured any rounds that are very close and hard to pick, I'm not going to give a draw. I'll give them to Wilder because it's in his home country and he's likely to get it on the scorecards anyway. But rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all Tyson Fury rounds. All of them. Wilder couldn't land anything substantial. He wasn't using effective aggression. He was coming forward at times but not doing anything with it, landing an odd jab here and there. Tyson was landing his jab at will. He was landing straighter right hands than Deontay Wilder. And, you know, they were clear Tyson Fury rounds for me. Round 8, I actually gave to Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury started slowing down a little bit. Deontay was landing a few punches, nothing extra heavy or anything, but enough to win the round for me. And then, of course, round 9 was a knockdown round. Sorry, my son's home today. He's got a swollen face and he's making noise in the background. But round 9, yeah, was a knockdown round. Tyson didn't see a punch coming, landed on the back of the head as he was ducking down. You can't blame Deontay for that. Tyson was ducking, didn't see it, got caught with it. He got up with no problems, but 10-8 rounds. He actually fought the rest of the round effectively and was pushing Deontay back. but you know, it's a 10-8 round because he got knocked down. So round 10 and 11, I also scored. Flynn, go away, please. I'm busy. Sorry about that. Yeah, round 10 and 11, clear rounds to Tyson Fury for me. Once again, round 12, Deontay finally landed a right hand that stunned Fury and then caught him with a left hook, followed it up. Pretty much knocked him out. It's what Wilder had been trying to do for the whole fight. And couldn't land it, but he finally landed it in the last round. And I thought it was over, to be honest. But amazingly, after about 5, Tyson Fury stood up and got up and beat the count. So, well done, Tyson Fury. And he actually caught Deontay with a few punches at the end of the round as well and kind of staggered him a bit. But, yeah. So I scored the fight 8 rounds to Tyson, 4 rounds to Deontay. 2 of those rounds being 10-8 rounds, so effectively it scored 8-6, right? That's 112 to 114 in Fury's favour. If there was another swing round in there, it could have been 113 like the other judge had it. Now, to the sour part of this fight. Yeah, I'm sour on it because I hate cheats. And this judge, Alejandro Bochin, is a fucking cheat. He says Deontay Wilder won 7 rounds of that fight, giving a score of 115 to 111 in Wilder's favour. He gave the first 4 rounds to Deontay. I mean, man's got to be fucking blind or getting paid. It's absolute bullshit. I wouldn't have actually been complaining at all if the fight had been given a majority draw. Pretty much the same result, but it's not the same result, is it? A majority draw, if he had scored at 113 and one dude scored it in favour of Fury, I wouldn't have been upset at all. You know, you come to a champion's backyard, you gotta beat the champion, right? But this motherfucker, Alejandro Bochin, remember the name. Remember that name. In fact, I might even go and find his picture and put that up on screen. This motherfucker shouldn't be working again as a judge. No way. We have Marla2243 in the building. How are you, brother?
How's it going, Jono?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I'm just having my rant about this one judge on the Wilder versus Fury card, this Alejandro Bochin. While I go and try and find his picture, you want to give us your take on the fight, mate?
Yeah, I scored the fight. I haven't watched it a second time, but when I was watching it, I scored it 115, 111 to Fury. I gave Wilder about 3 rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I just felt that at times he just wasn't doing enough to win rounds. Wilder, at times he was standing still. Sometimes he even was going back. He got out jabbed. Fury was beating him to the punch with his combos. He was moving on and making a miss. I thought Wilder made a big mistake not going to the body. It was there for him the whole fight. He looked like he was really anxious to land that right hand, but he was trying so hard to land it, and he was trying one shot at a time that Fury was just making a miss. I mean, that's just bread and butter for Fury. You know, he should have gone to the body, Wilder. And I also felt Wilder did get more effective later on when he started throwing his punches in bunches. But it's I thought Fury had won the fight. You know, when I got to the end, but when they said it was a split decision, I knew it was going to be a draw.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as they said split decision, I went, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah, it was obvious. Yeah, man. I struggled. I struggled to give Wilder rounds. Like some of those, the first 8 rounds, like the second round, I thought he won.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought, Fury was dominating him. He was putting a boxing clinic on him. He was making him at times look really one-dimensional. And yeah, I mean, in those rounds, Wilder was having his moments, but I just didn't think he was doing enough to win the rounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very disappointing, really.
Yeah, well, I see this judge Alejandro Bochin, who gave Wilder 7 rounds, scored all the first 4 rounds to Deontay Wilder, and I've watched the fight over second time, and I thought even my score at 112, 114 was actually generous. Second time around, I scored it the same as you, 115, 112.
Yeah.
I could only give Wilder that second round, and that was still close. I could understand.
It was, yeah. I gave him the second round, and it was down to the wire.
Yeah,
that was a real tight round. Yeah, man. I had no doubt Fury had won the fight at the end. Even people are saying, how could he have won the fight? He got knocked down twice. It's like, well, that's not how boxing works.
Yeah,
he was so far out in front. The bottom line is, this is what people don't seem to get. Wilder, even with the 2 knockdowns, had to win 5 rounds to draw the fight, 113, 113.
Yeah.
He needed to win 6 rounds with the 2 knockdowns to win the fight, 114, 112.
Yeah.
I watched that fight. I can't give him 5 or 6 rounds.
No, not a chance. The only rounds you can give him real clear are the ones he knocked Fury down in.
Yeah, absolutely. The other rounds he was getting outboxed. It was only the second round I gave that to him by a whisker.
Yeah.
It was terrible, mate. So they'll have a rematch, and one of the people here, Arjan, says the rematch will be uncompetitive. Tyson will win so easily. I don't know about that, because man, if Wilder puts that power on him, I thought I had my money in that 12th round.
Yeah, I was grabbing my head going, no, because I thought I had my money, because my bet was Fury by decision. So I was so close that fucking judges ripped me off.
Oh, God, I had Wilder. It reminded me of Razor Ruddock, Tommy Morrison. Fury went down, and I thought, oh, that's it, mate. He looked like he was just absolutely floored, and the next thing you know, he got up, and some of the... What does the LDBC stand for?
Lions Den Boxing Community.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were. I went on that 78 channel, and they were, the day before the fight, they were bleating how Tyson was going to be destroyed. Then afterwards, they were saying how it was a long count, and the ref stitched it up and let Fury off the hook and all sorts of stuff, as you would expect. But I thought he was up in time. He was up at about 9.5, and the ref said, the ref said, right, walk. They said because he was laying flat on his back, not moving, he should have just been stopped right there and then. But his eyes were open, and he was looking up at the ref. Yeah. And then he was listening to the ref count, and then he started to get up. He got up at 9.5. He could walk in a straight line, so the ref said continue. So I don't see any controversy with that.
No,
but
I think he was being smart. He knew he was hurt, and he was lying there, but you could see the ref standing over him, looking down, and he didn't stop it because he knew Tyson was actually just trying to recover for a few seconds, and get up in time. But I did watch the post-fight press conferences, and I saw Wilder was talking about why didn't the ref start counting straight away in that 12th round count, and that was one of the things I looked at very hard when I went back and watched the fight second time. Did the ref start counting straight away? He did. Straight away. Within a second of Tyson being on his back, he started counting, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just the passionate backers of Wilder wanted the count to go faster because they wanted their man to win. But I thought,
that's right. I wanted him to win too. I had my own money on it. I had $20 on it at $4.50. Yeah. From round 7 to 12. So I was like, oh yes, he's got him. But he got back up, but even then there was 2 minutes to go in the round, and I thought, oh, surely he's not going to survive this 2 minutes. But he did.
Well, I think Wilder was pretty gassed in that last quarter of the fight. Just through the point of throwing so many heavy punches and missing nearly all of them. It takes a
Yeah,
lot out
man.
of you when you put that much on all your punches and you miss all the time.
It was like in the 11th round, he had landed that big body shot and drove Fury back. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he didn't go after him.
No, he's too
You know,
tired.
yeah, too tired, man. Let him off the hook. And I just say, I felt early in the fight he looked so anxious to land that right hand, but he was only throwing one punch at a time, and he was telegraphing it. And Fury was just making a miss all the time. He should have just gone to the body. I'm surprised his corner didn't tell him
Yeah.
go to the body. That was a slap on his corner's part. They really failed there.
Well, I did watch that post-fight press conference, and Wilder was saying he went off the game plan. The game plan was to go to the body a lot more. And,
okay.
You know, he let his emotions take hold. He just wanted to get Tyson out of there. But, you know, it was really silly. If you can't land that right hand on him, you got to try and box him or tire him out, stop him moving somehow.
Yeah, man.
So,
And Tyson was there to hit to the body, and he hated the body shots from Wilder.
exactly.
You know, and with Wilder's power, you want to go to the body. He'll break guys downstairs.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I am looking forward to the rematch. The interesting thing is, this puts a lot of pressure on AJ, because we're always hearing how AJ's the A side and all this. Well, now the biggest fight in boxing is a rematch between these two guys. Yep. What's AJ going to do? Fight Pulev or a rematch with Dillian White? I mean,
he might as well fight as Mando, get it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, but it's he's not in the spotlight now. AJ, the spotlight is really on these two guys.
Yeah. We got AA Boxing and Blunts in the house. How are you, bro?
All good, Jono, all good.
Good to have you
all
on,
good,
man. We better get your take on the fight and how you thought the scorecards were right or wrong or whatever.
Right. I don't want to sound like a bit of a hater, right? But I'm actually disappointed in Tyson Fury last night.
Go ahead, let us know why.
I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan, and I had money on him to win. But to go out there and get knocked down twice and get a draw is really good. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to go away from home, take a knockdown twice and still manage to come away without losing. But he should. The fact that he managed to get hit twice clean is disappointing for me. It really is. I think he was lacking a lot of sharpness that I thought he would have had. I thought he would have been a lot sharper than he was. Like, I don't know. See, at times he seemed to be switching off too much, and I don't know if anybody else noticed. Round about round 4, he was throwing his right hand for the first few rounds, and then in round 5, between round 5 and 6, Ben Davison said to him in the corner, just keep him at bay with the left, work off the left. And then when he came back in the next round, Ben said it again, keep it with the left, keep it with the left. I wonder if Tyson had hurt his arm.
It's a possibility. He seemed to still be throwing it okay later on in the fight, though.
He didn't start throwing it again till after he took the knockdown. But I don't know, he deserved to win. But I didn't score it the first time I watched it, and I kind of guessed a draw. I thought a draw was going to come. I watched it back the second time and Tyson took it still for me. But you can't moan, you can't expect to go to somebody's hometown as a challenger, get knocked down twice and walk away with the belt. That was never going to happen. No,
I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I wouldn't have been too upset if it was called a majority draw. You know, but this one judge scoring 7 rounds to Deontay Wilder, I mean, how the fuck could you get 7 rounds? Could you see 7 rounds for Wilder there, Double A?
Nah. But that's the thing as well, there wasn't an American judge. Like, Jono, can you remember when this fight got announced and I was saying to you, like, when people were saying, oh, Frank Warren's no telling us where this is, and I said, but if it's in Vegas, that means that you don't get mutual judges. The judges are, the Athletic Commission decides on the judges in Nevada.
Yeah.
But when you go to somewhere like Los Angeles, Tyson Fury had to say in the judges and the ref last night.
Yeah, who was the match official though? The judge on the side that doesn't give a score. He was a US judge, wasn't he?
Might have been, yeah.
But yeah, the one.
Do you think this stops the rematch? And I know that obviously there was a rematch clause for Wilder losing. There's a draw. Usually a draw doesn't have a rematch clause.
I don't know. Well, if I was Wilder, I'd be thinking very hard about who he's going to fight next. if I was Wilder, I'd probably be trying to get the Joshua fight next. I wouldn't want to fight Fury again. Now that Fury's got a decent quality fight under his belt, he's only going to get closer to being back in prime condition, isn't he? And he's going to be more of a problem in prime condition for Wilder.
I think there's a good chance that Wilder could fight in April. Like, I think last night, it being a draw, it opens up the possibility a lot more. But this is the thing, right? People can laugh, and I know boxing figures like AJ. That fight last night has got a good chance of being the biggest heavyweight fight in a number of years. If Wilder can generate more money fighting in America than AJ can generate fighting in Britain,
yeah.
How do you decide where the fight is and how much people get paid?
Yeah.
Because Wilder's just done figures there. Like, if you're going to offer Wilder 15 million quid when he makes 2 million, what happens if he's just made 60 million last night? If he's just generated $60 million, how much do you offer him?
Yeah, I guess like Lou DiBella was saying in the post-fight press conference, where's the fight going to be, was the question. He says, well, pretty much it's going to come down to where these guys can get paid the most money. So we'll see what happens. I guess we haven't found out any pay-per-view numbers and whatnot yet for the fight, but it'll come out in the next couple of days and we'll see, you know, how Wilder's value is, because that's going to determine a lot of it. But yeah, what do you reckon next for Wilder there, Marla?
I would love to see him fight AJ next, but when's AJ's mandatories due? When does he have to?
Sorry guys, my little man's just having issues with the Xbox.
No, there's no Mandos yet. He's not actually got anybody scheduled in yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'd love to see him fight Wilder. That fight will be huge. That would be. I mean, because of what Wilder did to knocking Fury down, it will create interest. You know, fighting another UK fighter. So, I hope they do fight next. But yeah, that'd be a good one for me.
I guess we can hope. Eddie's supposed to be approaching Wilder's team now, and we'll see what's going to happen. I don't imagine they want the Fury fight straight away for AJ.
Well, I seen an interview with Shelley. Shelley's talking about making AJ an offer to come to America next.
Oh, yeah? Well, if they make a bullshit offer like the one from, you know, it can't be on BT Sport, so don't bother with that again, Frank Warren.
But how? This is what I don't get. How can it not? AJ has to fight wherever he's told to fight if he takes an offer. You can't dictate where you fight when you take an offer. If Wilder takes money to fight AJ, does that mean Wilder has to fight? So Wilder can take an offer for AJ and demand that he fights on Showtime? Doesn't work like that.
No,
it's impossible.
No, AJ can fight in the US and fight on Showtime. That's not a problem. But BT made that offer on the proviso that it's on BT Sport. He can't, you know, it's broadcast in the UK on BT Sport. He can't do that.
But how? No, he can. It's still possible. You're contracted to, even though he's contracted, he's got a contract. If he decides to fight, if he decides that he's fighting Wilder and takes the offer, Wilder's team then sell the TV rights. It's up to them to sell the TV rights. You sell the TV rights to make up your money.
Well, so AJ will get sued because the only way he can fight on another network in the UK is if he loses a purse bid.
See, I didn't know that's in a contract, but obviously I know that it's the same way Fury. So Fury fights against AJ, and Fury's team offer AJ $50 million or 50 million quid, and AJ's team offer Tyson Fury 20 million, and AJ's team have to take that offer because it's a bigger offer. That fight could be on BT.
I don't know.
And this is the other thing as well. Can I just say something as well now?
Yeah, go for it.
A minute. Do you know the 50 million offer that came for Anthony Joshua's team? That came for Wilder's team?
Yeah.
Why would that be backed by BT? BT are not going to pay $50 million. The fight will only generate $50 million to BT. They would have to sell 2 million pay-per-views at 20 quid each to get that money back. And they wouldn't sell 2 million pay-per-views for a fight that was on at that time in America.
They would have got money from Showtime to...
They would have paid some of it. But what would happen is Showtime would offer AJ 50 million quid. AJ would take that offer, then Showtime sell the international TV rights to the highest bidder. So what Frank Warren was saying is, Shelley was talking to us and we were interested in buying the fight. That's normal. Do you remember when the first offer was made to AJ? Eddie Hearn gave an interview, and the interview says, we can't fight on the 22nd of September because Canelo's fighting against Triple G. But we spoke to Showtime and Showtime were willing to buy the fight and show it on pay-per-view. Eddie Hearn gave an interview saying that Stephen Espinosa would have showed the AJ Wilder fight on. It would have been a pay-per-view fight if Canelo wasn't fighting Triple G.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I mean. What he was saying is selling the international TV rights to a fight. Even though he was signed to DAZN, he was still got to sell it to the highest bidder. That's all that happens.
Yeah, well, I thought that sort of shit has to be in the contract before you sign it, where it's going to be broadcast. You can't make someone sign a contract and then go and sell the rights.
No, that's you have to sell the TV rights, would sell after it. The international TV rights would sell after it.
Well, I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but you know, when I saw Frank Warren on, what was that, Boxing Social, saying the 50 and 80 million dollar offer with the rematch was given from BT Sport with the proviso that it's get broadcasted on there, and you know that's at the time was a big no-no apparently for Joshua. I don't know if he's still under the same contract with Sky now. I think that one might have expired.
It will be, but people need to remember that when you're a boxer and you take an offer, whether or no the offers to fight on a network, once you take that offer, it's up to that promoter to sell the TV rights.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason why Shelley Finkel wouldn't meet with Eddie, because he knew it was going to be part of BT, and Eddie was going to go, no, can't do that, sorry. But
you got to remember, Showtime are actually, the actual revenue of Showtime's about 10 times what Sky generate. Showtime is one of the biggest. Its parent company's NBC in it.
Yeah, or ABC, NBC, can't remember.
NBC, I think it is. So you're talking about a TV station that does numbers 10 times what Sky does. Like, they can afford to pay 50 million to AJ themselves. They don't need money for BT. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, but if they don't think that it's going to make that much money, they're not going to put that much money up at the same time, eh?
True. But how much does Wilder Fury need to generate last night? How much does that need to generate for AJ to even offer a six? Because Eddie Hearn was saying if it does a million pay-per-view buys, you'll get a 50-50 split. If that does a million pay-per-view buys, that just means that pay-per-view done $75 million. That's three times what AJ's generated.
Yep, exactly. We have Dan Mack in the house. How are you, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. We better get your take on the big fight, man. How did you see it? And did you agree with the scores at all?
No, obviously, I didn't agree with the scores. Probably could be because of my bias, but I went back and watched the fight again. And if I'm being charitable, I could possibly give Wilder the second round. Even in the round when Fury suffered the really bad knockdown, you could actually make an argument it was a 10-9 round as well, because Fury was winning that round till he got knocked down. He got knocked down, got back up, and took control again.
Yeah.
And that even occurred after the first knockdown when the fight went into the next round also. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what a lot of these guys are going on about, how they felt. There's no situation that I can see how anybody could argue that Wilder won that fight. Maybe some guys could try and make out that it was a draw. Do you know what I mean? But they'd need to show me the rounds that Wilder actually won so I could go back and watch it, because I can't see it. Either I'm completely stupid and somebody needs to take me by the hand like a child and point to me the rounds that Wilder won, then I'll take it on board and acknowledge it. But I can't see it out my own eyes. I was really, really fucking pissed off, because if Tyson Fury would have won that, got the decision that he deserved to get last night, that would have been one of the greatest comebacks in boxing, and he get denied that through boxing politics. And I've got a suspicion. I mean, we can all talk all high, what we suspect's going on behind the scenes with Hearn and Joshua and Finkel and all the rest of it. None of us really know if that's the truth of it. But I don't know, man. I've got a sneaky feeling these fuckers are going to stitch Tyson Fury up and chase after the Joshua money. I don't know the ins and outs. I mean, I mind that a few weeks back, maybe Double A can go over it again, that, you know, that Tyson had a rematch clause in terms of it could be a delayed rematch clause. So I don't know how that's all going to play out in the future. I also think that there should be a rematch. I hear that Frank Warren's written to the WBC asking for an immediate rematch. So, you know, we'll need to wait and see on that one. But, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking into the future. But I thought it was a great performance for Tyson Fury. All things considered, what he's come through. And, you know, like, he can only get sharper. I mean, that was Wilder's best chance to beat him last night. I think if there's a rematch, I mean, I heard another guy's channel who I respect, and he was thinking that Wilder will definitely win the rematch. And I'm like, no, Willie fuck, because Tyson Fury will have his game, his fitness back to nearer the levels where it needs to be, because that's not Tyson Fury in full flow. I believe there's more to come. If he gets the fights under his belt, he'll get better, in my opinion. I'm not saying he'll ever get back to the level he was at when he fought Klitschko, but he could get close to that. And I thought he deserved it. I totally thought he deserved it.
Sorry, guys. Mrs. called me.
I was wondering what was happening. I thought I was talking to myself.
You were. It's all good, though.
I stayed up all night watching.
Just random fucking rambling away here, man. But that's what I thought. I tried to be as objective as I could about it, man. But I don't know what you guys thought, because I never heard the start of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all went for Fury.
I'm gutted. I'm actually. I feel bad saying it, but I'm actually disappointed in Tyson Fury. I expected more from him last night, like I really did. I didn't expect him to get knocked down. Like, I expected him to be able to. I thought he was going to knock. I predicted a knockout in round 8 to 10. I expected Wilder, his balance to be all over the place. Tyson Fury to be too quick on his feet. It never quite played out how I thought. I thought Tyson Fury looked way too complacent last night.
Yeah.
He wasn't switched on at all. He wasn't there. I know a lot of people, when you watch it back, it seemed to be wandering. His eyes weren't focused proper. And like, I know he likes to go in for his combos and he likes to step off, but see, when he steps off, he didn't even look like he was concentration. He looked like he was stepping off and soaking up the environment. You can't do that in a fight. He was enjoying himself too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. See, all the showboating and whatnot, they could have done without all that. And after every single round, going back to his corner, his hands up in the air, and just a general lack of focus. So that is a good point. Absolutely a good point. And you feel as if that energy was focused in on the fight, then it would have been more convincing victory.
Put it this way, not a lot of people manage to go to America, get knocked down twice, and still come away with it losing. That's the important thing. He's still unbeaten.
Yeah.
It's still a comeback. He's still on his comeback. But my biggest worry is now that AJ and Wilder's going to fight in April.
Yeah, well, that could leave a big window for Fury for the winner of that fight, though, couldn't it?
But when would they get the winner of that? Because they'll have a rematch clause. Then no doubt Dillian White will be signed up to fight the winner of them. Then you've got Mandos, and Tyson Fury's never going to be able to build his way up the Mandos, because he's not going to be. I can't see Frank Warren being able to get anybody by anybody's rankings. Can't see anybody want to fight Tyson Fury.
Oh, nobody's going to want to fight him. No, but after this fight, he probably should go up some spots in the other governing bodies, not the WBC. Obviously, he won't go up anywhere there. But I think we might see him closer to the top of the WBO. He might end up getting ordered to fight Dillian White or something, if there's a final eliminator possibly going to be ordered for that governing body. The IBF as well. I don't know where he's going to end up there, if he's going to end up anywhere. But that Mando's going to be quite a while away. WBA's just moved forward as well. So
I've been hearing that Usyk's really interested in that April date as well now.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
You need to see if you're a boxer and you want to fight AJ, you need to fight him when you can get that slot. Because if Usyk doesn't take that slot in April and somebody else gets it, the same again for Usyk. When he can only call it when the WBO call the Mando, so if the IBF or the WBA start calling theirs again, he needs to wait his turn for it to come round, doesn't he?
yeah,
And so it's up for grabs, man.
yeah, take it while he can. And you know, like I've discussed on many channels, I think he's perfectly okay to step straight into that AJ fight. He's not going to learn anything before he gets in there. He's fought heavyweights, super heavyweights before, so you know, get in there and do it while you can. I guess
I'm just a bit bamboozled.
Where you go?
No, I'm just a bit bamboozled with it all because it was such a stitch up at the end of the fight that I'm kind of thinking, where's all this heading? In terms of like Wilder and Finkel, where are they going to go? Because that scoring was a total joke, and I suspect they don't want to fight Tyson Fury again. I don't know. I really don't know. I hope that's not the case. But I've got a sneaky feeling they're going to try and get the Joshua fight on better terms for themselves.
Yeah.
But nobody can say now that Joshua will be out his fucking mind to take that Wilder fight in America after what happened to Fury last night.
Yep.
I know the UK. I know the UK is not that great in terms of these decisions and whatnot. So I'm not kind of breaking it down nationalistic wise, because bad decisions happen all over the world. But you know, it's got to the point now that nobody's wanting to fight outside their backyard because there's a good chance you're going to get robbed.
In all honesty, though, a fight with Wilder and AJ, it's not going to go to the cards. I think the first one who lands big is going to take it. There'll be no coming back for the other guy.
Who was it Klitschko fought again where they said that there's definitely this fight's never going to fucking go the 12 rounds, and it went to 12 rounds.
Well, I mean, if I can't see AJ being able to take Wilder's best shots, and I can't see fucking Wilder being able to take AJ's best shots. It's just they're both good finishers, and they can both crack, and neither of them have got a concrete jaw. So,
Wilder wasn't a good finisher against Fury, though, was he? He had him hurt a couple of times, but couldn't finish him.
Yeah, but over his whole career, he's been a good finisher.
Yeah.
I was wanting to go back to. He's just left. He's just left the chat. I was going to ask Double A question, but he's just left.
Oh, bugger. Oh well.
No, it was just that he was picking up on the point that Fury had opportunities to knock Wilder out because
he was hurt.
So what I saw, man, he was hurt a few times and Fury never followed up. Yeah, interesting. What did you guys honestly think? I've not actually heard what you guys said.
Oh, I gave it to Fury 115, 111. I gave Wilder the 2 knockdown rounds, and I gave him the second round just. So yeah, I gave him 3 rounds, Wilder.
Too slippery for Wilder. You know, I think in the post-fight press conference, Wilder was saying it's like he's got baby oil on him. Motherfucker's slippery. Just can't land on him. Double A's back, so if you wanted to ask your question there, Dan.
No, it was just for you to elaborate on that point, because I also saw that as well. There was a few opportunities in the fight for Fury to I'm not saying knock Wilder out, but get the fight stopped, because he buzzed Wilder at least on 3 occasions, and he just never capitalised on it. What did you think that was about, Double A?
I don't know. I'm going to try and watch it back one more time, but I don't know if it's maybe he's had a sprain or something in his hand, because he really at the beginning he was throwing a lot. He obviously throws that jab and he throws the big wild left swings, but even his right hand he was throwing it. But when he was throwing it, he wasn't rotating the same way. He was throwing it in between punches. All the power was coming on the big left hooks, and I'd wonder if he's hurt his hand and he's no wanted to injure himself. he's a lucky man, Tyson Fury, that God's on his side, because believe me, man, God put his hands on him last night and lifted him up.
Seemed that way in that 12th round, that's for damn sure.
The funny thing is, when I was watching that fight, the one thing I took from it, Fury, if he keeps himself together and stays in the gym and keeps training and loses a bit more weight and just sharpens himself up, he could unify the titles again and slap all of them.
But do I want me to tell you something?
Yeah.
I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan. But I think Tyson Fury, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Tyson Fury starts messing about now. That was his shot last night. He's going to have a break now. He's going to have at least a month off with his family or Christmas. Is he going to come back with the same focus, determination and mind that he had to become the undisputed champion of the world again?
Maybe.
That's what I mean. If he stays, that's what I mean. If he stays focused, keeps himself together, and he improves on last night's performance, you imagine him in there against AJ. He could give AJ hell.
Well, as long as he stays in a good frame of mind and enjoys a nice white Christmas, but it's only snow that's white, he'll be fine, I think. But if he celebrates too much and blows up again, it could be detrimental. I guess we'll have to wait and see in the new year and see what happens. But
I don't think the rematch will be in Britain either. I was joking that it's going to be at Old Trafford on the 6th of April, but I think if there's going to be a rematch, I think it's going to have to be America again. I think the Americans bought into that. They really did enjoy that last night. Yeah. I think the money's there. It has to be there, doesn't it? If the money's there, Tyson Fury will go to America for the fight.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the numbers are in the next few days when everything comes out. But yeah. Do you guys reckon that it's kind of pointed out a bit more since these guys have fought that Deontay Wilder's pretty much going to stay a one-trick pony?
Yeah, I think at 33 years of age, you have to wonder, if he can develop. What can he find? You sort of feel, I sort of feel like he's probably, what you're seeing from him is what you're going to get. Like he's an experienced fighter, and I was really disappointed with some of the stuff he did. Just looking for that right hand, not going to the body. Early on he was throwing one shot at a time, and I thought, God, you've had 40 fights, man. It's like, you're making amateur mistakes.
Got anything there, Dan Mac, about Wilder?
It's doubtful. I agree with Marla. It's doubtful that he'll actually develop. I mean, I've said for a while now, John, it's just my opinion, man. So it's not, feel free to disagree. But I feel like Wilder's one of these guys that could not beat anybody in the top 15, knock anybody out in the top 15, but also lose against anybody in the top 15. It would not shock me if somebody like Dominic Brazil knocked him out. I wouldn't be shocked with that. He's a knockout waiting to happen, but he possesses the capability of knocking you out as well. And in a couple of fights, man, he has been getting away with murder, and all mitigating circumstances taken into account, man. If that was a Tyson Fury in full flow, like we saw against Klitschko, that would have been a total embarrassment for Wilder last night. Almost was embarrassing in some rounds. In my opinion, that was like Fury probably about 70% and not focused. I totally agree with what Double A said earlier about the not being focused and the showboating and whatnot. Fury was totally on the job and totally in shape, man. That was just a walk in the park for him.
Yeah. Got anything to add there about?
Sorry, I got sidetracked there, man. In terms of Wilder, he was. I can't see him progressing. He needs to use his jab a lot more. If he can do that, then that will obviously help his cause, man. He didn't use his jab near enough. It's actually a good jab. It's just the recoil of defensive position. It's the issue, and I think he gets countered off it quite a lot, so he tends not to throw it as much. So that's a problem. But that's more down to coaching and technique and whatnot. They should be trying to get his hand back into a defensive position. You know what I mean? Rather than kind of swinging it down towards his hip after he throws the jab.
That right hand seemed to be even more telegraphed than usual. You know, as soon as he threw a jab, you knew that right hand was coming straight behind it. He wasn't using any feint jabs before the first jab or doubling the jab to throw the rhythm out or anything. So, you know, I think Wilder's only got himself to blame. He could have possibly gotten Tyson out of there in the 9th round when he knocked him down if he had have not missed so many shots early due to not feinting enough or not doubling his jab up or not going to the body, doing the same old shit, looking for the straight for the jab, right hand, and then follow with the left hook if he lands the right hand. And that's all he did all night. I was disappointed with Wilder myself. But
well, I would advise anybody to go onto YouTube and watch this video. There's a video on YouTube. It's called Guilty Cat, and it's about these two cats in a room, and one of the cats is like fucking tipped over on it and wrecked the room it was in, and the owner comes back, and you could tell which one was the guilty cat, and that kind of body language that cat gave out was the same body language that Wilder was giving out. You can just tell with how these guys are reacting to that fight and who won the fight. Fury knows he won the fight. Everybody knows he won the fight. It's only a few die-hard Wilder fans that are trying to justify that Wilder won that fight. Out with that, then everybody that I've heard reasonably minded all thought Fury won the fight. So that is what it is.
One last question for all of you before we move on to something else. Did you enjoy the fight? Let's start with you, Double A.
Fucking loved it.
Good man. Dan?
Loved it. Well, I say I loved it. I'm disappointed they never won, and I feel bad saying it, but I was disappointed in Tyson Fury. I expected more from him. I didn't expect him to get knocked down. The fact he got knocked down twice to me should have lost the fight. I can't see how you get knocked down twice and win the fight, or even come out with a draw. But I'm glad he's done what he's done. But he's nowhere near ready yet. He's still. I don't even know if he was taking it serious. He actually looked like he wasn't taking it serious.
Yep.
But it was a good card. I quite liked the card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the fight, Marla?
Oh, I loved it, man, and I have to say I got to give props to both guys for signing the contracts and making the fight happen. You know, we've had so much BS over the years with fights. You know, the politics of it. It was so frustrating. Guys not getting in the ring, and these guys just signed the contracts and got in there. Yeah. You know, and that was good to see. Indeed. I'm looking forward to the rematch. I hope it happens.
Yep. Dan Mac, did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I mean, maybe I'm getting caught up in the emotion of it all, but no, I really enjoyed it, man. It was a bit flat at the end when he didn't get the decision. I thought he won it clear as day, Double A. But you know, it is what it is. But I'd love to see Tyson Fury just focusing on himself and let Frank Warren and all that deal with where he's going next. Just focus on what he's doing, and if Wilder decides to go down the Joshua route or decides to fight Dominic Breazeale or whatever, just keep it all together and get a decent fight against a Dillian White or somebody like that, just a top contender, and just keep on track, keep focused, and get yourself back into prime shape. Because for me, all roads are leading towards Tyson Fury v Anthony Joshua, and that would be fucking outrageous, man. That would be amazing. Like for a fight fan over here, that's just fucking, that's a wet dream, man. That really is a domestic dust up on that level.
Yep. And to let everybody know, I really enjoyed the fight. When my missus and my kids are telling me to shut up because I'm screaming too loud at the TV, that's a real good sign. So yeah, I really enjoyed the fight, and like Marla says, credit to both guys for making it happen and giving us a damn good show. We might get to see it again, we'll wait and see. But we'll move on to some of the other fights that happened over the weekend. Haven't got too long left, so we'll have a quick run through. What did y'all think of Luis Ortiz versus Travis Kaufman? You want to kick that one off, Dan?
I missed that one, mate.
Okay, move on to Double A then. You watched that one?
That was a joke fight.
Yeah?
That was a joke. the same again. At times, it looked like an exhibition. Lewis Ortiz was banging his chest and just it was all right. It was good for an undercard, I suppose. I thought it was going to go the distance, to be honest.
It looked like it, didn't it?
But it was fun. It was good build up.
What do you reckon, Marla?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Kaufman, he showed up to survive from the first round. He wasn't in there to win it. And I mean, it is difficult. We've seen with Parker, fighting Razvan Kajanu, and he fought the other southpaw, a Bergman, and you get those guys in there that are not there, to win the fight. They're there to survive. So there's not always the openings there to crack them. And, I thought Ortiz was methodical. I fear to say, just methodically, I gave him every round. He knocked him down 3 times. But I mean, I would like to see Ortiz get another big fight against, he is a dangerous fighter. I'd love to see him, I'd love to see Ortiz fight AJ. I really would.
That would be a good fight. Yeah, so I didn't think too much. I thought Travis Kaufman was possibly trying to wait for Ortiz to try and maybe punch himself out a bit, and then he was going to come on strong, but he just had nothing. He had nothing on the level of Ortiz, so he proved he's got a pretty good chin, taking that much punishment, and he didn't go down until the final round or something, was it? And the ref stopped the fight, so...
He got knocked down 3 times.
Yeah, and the ref's like, nah, you've had enough. So, that's what it is. I'd like to see Luis Ortiz maybe fight either Dillian White or a Dominic Brazil. The Dominic Brazil fight would clean up the WBC mandatory mess and sort that shit out. Because I think he would beat Brazil, but then again, he's old and Brazil's got a heart and he'll keep coming, so could be a decent fight. But
I just got to jump off for 5 minutes, John. I'll be back shortly.
Okay, bro. Sweet as. The other fights on that card, there was Joe Joyce and Joe Hanks. Did you see that one, Dan?
I saw the knockout for somebody's mobile phone on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great picture. Last week I was saying we got to give Joe Joyce a bit more respect, and for this footage that I saw, man, he did look like a robot. Do you know what I mean? But he is a really strong guy. But I never saw the best footage. It was shot off somebody's phone, but he won in a round, I believe, because it only went on for about 50 seconds.
Yeah. Yep, fair enough. I thought Joe Hanks was going to put in a bit more of a show, but, to give him a little bit of credit, at least he looked like he was landing a few good punches and trying to box, but, he's just not quite on that level, I think. And an interesting comment I saw on one of my channels, one of my comments on my channel, was Joe Hanks could be likened as a opponent to Alexander Flores, who's fighting Joseph Parker. They could be built up to be something of a threat, but really they're not. So we'll see what happens. The other fight on that card was Jarrett Hurd versus Jason Wellborn.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, Jarrett Hurd's always entertaining to watch, but he's managed to sort out Wellborn in, was it 2 rounds? So
3, I think.
3 rounds, yeah.
4.
4
Was
rounds.
it 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Round 4. I had a bet on him to win in the first 3.
Oh,
It
bugger.
went 4.
Just missed it.
I had Joe Joyce in the first as well. 17-2 on that.
Okay.
I was a bit surprised for that Hurd fight, though. Were you not, Double A? How easy the boy was getting to him.
With Wellborn. No, but that's what Wellborn is. Remember Wellborn versus Tommy Langford was the British Boxing Board of Control fight of the year.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he was just, he fought on an undercard, he fought on a Sky. Was it whose undercard did he fight on no long ago on Sky? It was a pay-per-view undercard, he fought Langford in remember the rematch?
Mm-hmm.
He's solid, that's what he is. And he's a middleweight, he's a natural middleweight. And he looked tiny. He was just in there for him to keep busy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you know, test him out after his shoulder surgery and whatnot.
That's why they picked him, because they knew what they were going to get. They were going to get somebody who would go in there and go in close and try and throw a few punches.
Yeah,
he was picked.
so hopefully we're
Absolutely.
going to get to see Jamil Charlo next for Jared Hurd. You think it's going to happen, boys?
I think so.
Yeah.
You let him get in the ring after the fight, didn't he? You let him get in the ring.
Yep.
Yes.
So
That's a good fight as well.
it is indeed. I hope it happens. Next. Who do you think would win, lads? You want to kick that one off, Dan?
Oh, I've
Was it a fence sitter, that one, for you?
yeah, man, it's one of the ones. He looked a wee bit vulnerable last night, Hard. So I'd need to get a lot more thought, because it was all over the place with the Fury Wilder fight, man. I didn't know what to. I'd need to go and watch more of this Charlo, the one that fights in Hurd's weight class. So I know there's a brother above him.
Jamal's at 160, Jamil's at 154.
I like that Hurd though. He comes across as a really sound guy, but I don't know, man. I'd need to go and have a proper look at it.
He tends to take a few shots, but he seems to have a pretty damn good chin. Yeah, where you go, Muller?
I was wondering what Hurd's tactics were. He had the height and the reach, and he was on the ropes, letting the guy pound on him. I thought, what are you doing, mate? Get in the middle of the ring, use your advantages. I couldn't understand his tactics. But I sort of look at. I don't know enough. He did look vulnerable, but I don't know enough about Jamal Charlo. I'd have to watch some of his footage before I could make a call on it. But it'll certainly be a fight I'd pay to watch.
Yeah,
good one.
What do you reckon, Double?
I'd back Hurd. I'd take Hurd. I would take Hurd to beat Charlo.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think
that fight last night was just. It wasn't even a fight. I think the reason after the fight, he said that he went in at round 3. And said to the corner that was it, that was the time. So he decided that in round 4 he was going to go in and take him out.
Far out.
So
easy as that.
I don't think he's. I think he wanted to take it. I think he wanted to take punches, and I think picking an opponent like that, he knew what he was going to get. He was going to come in and he's just going to throw right, left, doesn't he? He's not going to change his punches. He's not going to throw uppercuts in between her.
Yeah.
The guy's a part time. I'm sure he's a full time gardener still. Jason Welborn works as a gardener. He's not even a professional boxer.
No, he's apparently was going to think about quitting a couple of times, wasn't he? But yeah, it is what it is. He was a filler, really. And yeah. But we'll move on to the next one. Adonis Stevenson got stopped by Gvozchik. And has his WBC title taken from him. I haven't actually watched the fight yet. I'm gonna find it soon on YouTube after the stream and have a look. I watched the first couple of rounds and thought, oh yeah, Stevenson's in control. It's pretty much gonna go the way it's gonna go. And I went off and did my thing, and then come back and seen a few things on YouTube that he got beaten. So, did any of you guys watch that fight?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it, yeah.
Yeah?
I've seen it. He's in a coma. He's in an induced coma.
Stevenson's
in a coma, yeah.
Shit,
Yeah, I heard that as well.
He was controlling that fight. He was like, people were saying, oh, the judges are with the scorecards and that. I watched the fight. Like, I don't think Stevenson wasn't getting beat up for that. He looked like he was doing good. Don't get me wrong, the tables did turn, and don't get me wrong, he got beat. He got well fucking beat. But he's in a coma.
I wonder if something went on when the fight started turning. Had something going on with a brain swell or something. That's not good news, but wow, interesting. I
thought he's due. No, I didn't even know he's in an induced coma. So
okay. Interesting.
We'll
see how it goes.
Probably bring him out in a couple of days.
Wish him all the best for recovery. I guess how he comes out of that is going to determine whether we're going to see a rematch or not, or is he going to end up retiring? But shit.
God, he'd retire if he was in his right mind. Jeez.
Yeah.
You got to get put in an induced coma, man. It's time to find a new profession.
Yeah, that's nasty. Okay. All right.
But
Is there anything else we'd like to bring up before we think about shutting it down, fellas?
the Joe Joyce fight. Have you talked about that?
Yeah, we did when you were away, but you can
yeah,
give us your take if you like, mate.
Yeah, I thought, I liked the way he used his jab, set up his punches, and he threw combinations. His punches were accurate. He's got cement in both hands. I don't know, obviously, how quick, obviously he's not the quickest guy, but if you match him up against the right opponents, he could, have a degree of success.
You certainly cause a lot of the decent level heavyweights a lot of trouble. That's for sure. He's got a big heart and he keeps coming with a good engine. So yeah.
Mala, did you see after the fight and he done like a flip in the ring?
No.
Yeah,
he did it again last night. He did another flip, and every time I see him doing that flip, I keep thinking to myself, why the fuck when you get in a ring do you have cement on your feet? He's literally he's just a big stiff robot. He's just a big lump.
When he's doing his capoeira, he looks pretty damn nimble, doesn't he? So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, if you've got that kind of movement and you're a boxer, that is like the holy grail. That's like the holy grail. It's like,
he'd be a guy. I'd love to
everything.
I'd love to see him fight Brazil. Yeah, that'd be good, man. Brazil's there to hit, and Joyce would be able to put his power on him.
He called it Ortiz in the press conference last night, and I seen an IFL interview, and he's getting interviewed, and Ortiz is walking by him. Ortiz and his wife, they're going back to the hotel after the fight, and Coogan turns around to Ortiz and says, will you fight Joe Joyce? And Ortiz is like, I'll fight Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce is like, let's get it on. And then he called him out, but people were laughing. Joe Joyce offered Derek Chisora 60 grand. Like, there's no money behind him.
Yeah.
Last night, Joe Joyce got paid less than Hanks.
Jesus Christ.
Joe Joyce got 40 grand for that, and Hanks got 50.
Wow.
So, and Luis Ortiz got 375. So
yeah, well,
I don't know where the money to pay Ortiz for Joe Joyce.
Well, he's advised by Al Heyman these days as well, isn't he? So maybe it's.
He's with Schaefer as well.
And Schaefer's buddy with Heyman, so it could get made, and maybe Joe Joyce could get a half decent paycheck at least. It'll be a pretty damn good fight for a chief support for the.
But it seems a bit bizarre that he would go out there, John, in the first place. When you look at the promoters in the UK and whatnot, with like Ward and Hearn, etc. You'd have thought that they would have taken him on, but he seemed to make a bizarre decision and going with David Hay. Now he's kind of been tied into the Richard Schaefer character, and
no,
it
he's
just
always
doesn't
been
make any
promoted
sense.
by Schaefer. He's always been promoted by Schaefer. Schaefer's always been his promoter.
Was Joe Joyce going to fight Huey Fury? There was talk about that.
It's been ordered.
Yeah, but got ordered.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Watch Huey run for the hills, though, I think.
Yeah.
I think
man.
Joe Joyce has said he wants to fight Huey. Getting that British title would help his rankings and whatnot, but I don't think Huey's in the right place to be fighting Joe Joyce right now. Eh? He needs a confidence-building fight, because he looked like absolute shit against
I wouldn't like to see him in there with Joe Hanks.
Yeah. That'd do.
No, I wouldn't even like to see Huey in there with Joe Hanks. Joe Hanks was throwing shots.
Yeah, I was saying when we were talking about it, Marla, you got to give Joe Hanks a little bit of credit. He came to at least try and fight before he got sparked. He did.
Yeah, man, he was up for it.
So, yeah, Huey Fury, Joe Hanks isn't a bad shout, I think. But, yeah. All goods. All right, fellas. We'll think about shutting it down there. You got any final words before we go? We'll start with you, Marla.
No, just, yeah. What's the next fight coming up? Parker's the next biggie?
Yeah, we got that 15th card. There's a couple of cards.
Kelly Brook's fighting next week.
Yeah.
You got Chisora. Chisora's coming up again late December against White?
22nd, the week after Parker's card.
It's going to be a good month, mate. Everyone enjoy it.
Brampton as well that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say there's is that the card that Dubois and is it
Yeah.
Dubois Leopold?
Yeah, Dubois on it as well. Willie Hutchinson's on it as well. I'm going to keep shouting this guy. Everybody listen out. I'm going to make the prediction again. Willie Hutchinson is my pick to be world champion in the next 2 or 3 years.
Sweet.
Multi-weight.
But there's obviously a wee bit of bias there as well, mate.
Of course.
I've been talking to him. Me and him we've been getting pally.
Good stuff.
But he's
I've-
managed by Shelley Finkel. He's managed by Shelley Finkel, promoted by Richard Schaefer and Frank Warren. So he's got 2 promoters.
Okay.
So he's definitely got the backing.
Is he still at light heavy?
Well, he fought. His last fight was supposed to be at light heavy. The guy pulled out and he fought a cruiserweight.
Aye,
But
that was
he
the New
wants
York
to
call,
fight
was it?
Super middle. He said he wants to fight at super middle while he can. But he's up for. He said right now he'll fight anybody from super middle to light heavy in Britain. He said he'd beat Yard right now, but they won't make the fight. But he's willing to go in the ring with any of them. He'll fight any of them right now.
He's got some mad statistic in his favour. Is it like with amateur fights? What was it he done again in the amateurs?
He's the first Scottish world amateur champion and European amateur champion before he was 18.
Yeah.
And then turned. He's only been pro for a year and he's had 6 fights. He's fought on the undercard of Frampton, undercard of Yoker, 2 cards at York Hall, and he had his own card in Glasgow at the Hilton. So he's definitely.
What age is he now? Double A's. He's still young guy, is he?
Just turned 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
Big future. Big future.
he's
Yeah,
really-
he's a big
well
lad. He
worth
looks a
watching.
big lad on the telly and that as well.
I've got a video on my channel. I've done a video on my channel. You will have a wee look.
Yeah, everybody go and
Yeah,
check it
I'll
out
do that.
on boxing. AA Boxing and Blunts is the channel to go and check, and you'll find that content. But yeah, any last words there before we go, Dan?
No, just saying that it's a great. It was a great weekend to watch the boxing and disappointing outcome at the end, but I really enjoyed it, and it's nice being on the show and chatting to the guys as usual.
Awesome. Any final words there, AA?
No, all good, man. Have a good one, guys.
Alright, lads. Okay, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out AA Boxing and Blunts. And thank you very much for joining us, Dan Mack and Marla2243 as usual. And everybody else in the chat as well. Next time, if you'd like to get a word in, don't be afraid to hit that link. And we'll catch you next time. This is Big Boys Boxing. We out. See you!
See you later, John. Sweet.